Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Flank. I'm joined by the human turret, one of the best ARs to ever do it, the world champion himself, Sam LaRue, a.k.a. Octane. We got some of the best analysis in the game, the world champ himself, Christopher Duarte, a.k.a. Parasite. We got the one and only, the multi-world champion, multi-champion, legend, icon to the Call of Duty soon, Patrick Price, a.k.a. Aches. And then, of course, we got the one and only, the executive producer of The Flank. Give it up for Benjay Nassim. Gentlemen, what's going on today? 3 matches. 3 bangers. I wouldn't say 3 bangers, but good matches today. One really, really good match. Probably the best match of the season, or one of them. Probably say top 3, top 5. How you guys feeling, man? Sam, we'll start with you today, Sam. How you doing, man?
I'm feeling great, man. I watched Rocket League this morning. That was great. I know, we haven't dabbled on that one in a while, Tom. But
yeah, you still be watching, Sam? You still be
I'm
tuning
still
in?
on that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was
no,
definitely watching off season. I just really haven't found the time to watch it now. Who's like is Zen still that guy or what?
No, bro, European fall off. But yeah, I did that this morning into, like you said, probably the best match of the year so far.
Yeah, definitely. At least up there. I think there's some other good matches, but definitely up there as well. We'll get to it. Chris Duarte, what's going on, man? Rank play's been down all day today.
Yeah, honestly, couldn't have picked a better timing because I wanted to go out to a show, but I wanted to stream ranked, and now it made the decision for me. So
Nice.
I'm actually going to do the show, and I get to go out and have some fun.
Where you go?
But yeah,
Actually, you don't have to say if you don't want to, but you're more welcome.
It's just a EDM like show. It's a
yeah.
DJ called Eli Brown.
You're
It's
going to a
house DJ.
rave? Or is it a rave or what?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. You're about
He's
to
getting ready for that shit in the background. Let's
You're
go,
about to
Chris.
get fucking turned, bruh.
Just get ready for it in the background.
Buddy.
Nah.
What?
And it-
What's up?
What?
No, I
what?
think Sam said something about the lights or something.
Yeah, I said you're getting ready for it in the background.
Please stop talking
Yeah,
about the
dude.
lights. Gives me
Oh,
PTSD.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Benjamin Nassim, how you doing, Ben? You doing all right?
Yeah, I've been streaming all day. Ordered a bunch of new stuff for the IRL golf streams, which I'm going to start doing this season on Monday. So I'm excited for that. Like Mondays is going to be kind of my golf IRL day once we get to kind of the spring. So excited for that. And yeah, we had some bangers today. I actually think 2 or 3 matches were good. I think the first one was a snooze, but the other 2 were definitely solid entertainment.
Yeah, but then, of course, we got the one and only Patrick Price, a.k.a. Eggs. Pat, I know you've been busy. It's a Friday, so I'm sure you were working today. How's everything going with work? How you doing? How's everything in your camp?
Yeah, everything's good, Tom. Been in my bag lately.
I like that.
But everything's good, man.
You been in your bag lately, Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know, Tom. People don't know, but
They don't know,
trust.
man. Hey, I trust you, Pat. I don't doubt you, Pat. Okay? People have doubted you a lot of times in the past, Pat, but you always persevered.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'm early, Tom, and people can't see it.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, listen, guys, we
Sometimes
got
your
3.
game's late.
Yeah, we're still waiting for X to find. We'll get there, Pat, right? We'll get there eventually.
We'll get there.
And we'll be
Please,
playing. But let's hop into some of the matches today. We had 3 matches today. We have a lot to talk about in the Optic Minnesota match because Jesus Christ. But the first match of the day, this one wasn't even close. This was a 3-0 smoke in favor of the New York Subliners over the Boston Breach. I mean, I'll start things off and just say that Boston got absolutely shit on today. They got absolutely shit on. And we just got to rip the Band-Aid off. I'll open it up like that. Ben, I'll let you start things off. What were your thoughts on New York versus Boston?
I thought, after the first 4 hills of the game, I was like, all right, Boston came to play today on the Skid Row. And then New York had a solid P5 hold, and then Dante got about 50 million kills on the next P1. And
Yeah.
the series was instantly over after that. New York, obviously, a very good search team and definitely showed their prowess in map 2 and then map 3. They were just running with speed. Boston just did not play well today across the board, all 4 players.
I think the map 1 Skid Row, Boston had a good start, but I think that also, you got to give it to New York. They started on bad side Skid Row. And if you start on bad side Skid Row, you can get put in a blender kind of quickly.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened. Boston was able to chain P1, P2, just go up so much. And then New York, they stayed disciplined. They focused on their rotations, focused on playing the game the right way. And they were able to make the comeback in the map 1. They kind of rode that momentum through the rest of the series. But Sam, what did you think? New York versus Boston. New York came out to play today. And this was a statement series, in my opinion, Sam. Would you agree with that or no?
No, this is New York that I've been waiting for. Like they beat the shit out of Seattle. I wasn't really too impressed with it. I think that today's win was a really, really good one, actually. Hydra had probably his best series of the year so far, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think we were kind of waiting for Paco to show up a little bit. Yeah, I was close for about 4 hills, and then Dante went on, I think it was like an 8 or a 9 for the second P1 rotation. It was something up there. And then from that point forward, the series really was not close at any point. So yeah, man, this is the New York that we've been waiting for. I've been tough on them on the show just because I know that like this kind of series is what they're capable of, and I think they've been underperforming to this standard. And yeah, I mean, they just literally shit on them really bad.
Yeah. Duarte, your thoughts?
We got Vintage Hydra back, but also this is just a great series for New York. Obviously, they fried him. But Skies is traditionally, well, not traditionally, but he's been their best player this year, like most consistently. And then he didn't really like play too well, at least statistically. So it was really good to see pretty much every single other player on the roster step up and still get the dub in a pretty dominant performance. But yeah, I mean, rightfully so, Sam. We've been tough on them. They just, we called them a top 4 team coming in this year, and they obviously, fell on land, and they just didn't perform. But ever since they've came back, they've started to look a little bit better, and they've got 2 really clean wins under their belt so far. So hopefully this is good signs for New York. I really want to see this team start to play better. I'm still not entirely sure if they're going to be at that level yet. We got to see them play against some of the other top 4 teams later in the stage, or even at the major, to really confirm if they're back. Exactly. And I'm just excited to watch this team play because we know how explosive this team can be. Dante, very good Slayer when he's on, and then obviously Kismet Hydra duo, and then with Caesar obviously stepping up to the plate. Like, this team could be good, like really good, but they're on the right path.
Paco definitely had that series that we know Paco can have. Today we
this
saw
is like the first moment.
Did we
feel
just
like this
say
year
that
we
our
saw
world
him.
champs could be good?
This year, it's a clean slate at the end of the day, is the way I always see it. So
Listen, bro, this team is godlike. They've just sucked for one event.
you can't put godlike. You can't put godlike on a team.
This team's godlike,
and then
bro. They
say
sucked
they're-
for one
and then
event.
say they
Yeah,
sucked.
but once you're like, I'm saying like it's February 23rd. Like, game's been out since November. They have for the first couple of months been kind of iffy, but I thought in general today. Listen,
They've been
Couple
iffy.
months.
A
I
couple
mean, listen,
months.
it-
I don't.
If you take away the event, they've been godlike.
Yeah, but even during their stage, they had
You
a lot
take
of
away
series.
the event, Miami's been godlike.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
that's cap. Miami's
I mean,
dog
they
shit.
started losing since
Well,
we
they-
got home.
I mean, they
but
got a lot. We're not. We
What are we
not
doing?
gonna sugarcoat
Listen,
they got last
I
to the tournament,
understand.
Bro.
I
Like,
We
come
can't take
understand
away the
that
event.
I
on.
understand.
Yeah, like you.
Bro,
prep all-
they
you
lost
prep-
one day. Like,
I
literally one
understand that,
day.
No, they
Pat.
lost 2 days.
Pat,
Or,
they
you know what I
just
mean?
showed up
Like,
and
they
lost
basically
on
played
2
2
days.
games,
Listen,
and
bro,
it was the
I
holy
understand
shit. They're
Pat's
9-3. This team's got the second, third best record in the CDL.
A team that good should not get dead. You think it's acceptable to get dead last in a tournament?
Bro, they
Big
got
team
the
of that
third best
caliber?
record in the CDL. Obviously, they had a
lost to
shit event.
Carolina. They lost to
Yeah,
Carolina.
they had a shit event where we had fucking replays and a bunch
They
of
almost lost to
bullshit.
Carolina again online.
Like, who cares?
During the stage, listen,
team's
this is what-
godlike.
Listen,
Nah,
the point I was getting to
not
the
yet.
stage 1 split
Soon.
is, listen, they were a great S&D team during that split, but the respawn was iffy, and that obviously bit them in the ass at the event when they not only were not winning respawns, they weren't winning searches. In this series, this is what we want to see from this New York team: a dominant S&D and showing their prowess against teams that they have more skill against in the respawn. This is how they're going to have a path forward against FaZe on Sunday, and then when they play Toronto and Optic throughout the rest of the stage, ideally making it deep on Sunday. This is how this New York team can find themselves in a
Bro,
grand final.
I'm still mind blown. We're acting like
You'll get
yes,
your chance,
obviously
Chris.
we
Just let 'em
can't
go.
disregard
Yeah,
the
yeah.
event, but we're acting like this team is good online and bad on land. These guys ran the fucking league last year on land. They won 3
one is
events
saying that.
on land. Like,
No one is
there's
saying
3
that.
players, and they upgraded. This team is good. And this series was basically like, that's why you got drop series. They world starred this Boston squad. Preston got world starred. This squad is elite.
No
They're
one is saying-
elite.
no
They
one
had a
is saying-
bad weekend. They have the 3rd best record in the CDL. They're going to continue to be godlike, and they're going to be a top 4 uncontested team all year long.
Nobody's
I can't believe
saying
I'm
that
hearing
this
Pat
team.
talking about online Call of Duty mentoring, but go ahead, Chris.
No one is
They
saying,
ran the league
no one
on
is saying
land.
that they're bad. We're just waiting for them to show some signs of consistency because just like everybody else, Pat, I think you would understand that you are a person that is very hard on teams, and this team did not perform up to their standards. They rightfully so. We had to talk our shit about them, and
Yep.
they're showing up to the occasion, and they're going to start to prove some of our early theories wrong. But at the end of the day, bro, like, you got to show some consistency here if you're going to be hard on other teams.
Bro,
I know,
I watched them get 12th and still said this team is top 4 uncontested in the league, and they still are. One bad weekend does not make a team. There are 5 events. they could go on to get first, and what do we say? Or like they weren't godlike the whole year. They were. That's how it worked. They had a bad weekend.
That's not the point, Pat. Like
they're a godlike team who had a bad weekend. Like let's stop overreacting.
Someone clip this. Someone clip this for future use. By the way,
I'm more so saying that you have to be consistent in the way that you grade teams because you don't show the same energy to a team like Optic.
I do. Optic is not godlike.
No, the fuck you don't. We'll get to Optic in a second.
You guys act like Optic goes and wins an event and then gets 12th and then wins an event.
No, I mean,
they go to events and get 6th, 5th, 12th, lose to Florida, get embarrassed, and then come back online and dominate. Go to the event and suck every event. There's a big difference.
This year, I'm not talking about prior years.
We're not talking about the exact same roster. My bad. The exact same roster. We're not talking about those guys. We're just talking about this new game, which is on the exact same engine, by the way, which is basically modeled for 2.5.
Optic is almost a completely different team.
Let's be realistic here.
And you're still using their performances in other games, right? You said losing to Florida. They haven't lost to Florida.
I'm using New York the same way I'm using Optic. I'm referencing last year the same way I referenced them New York last year.
Optic's a different team from last year.
Bro, Chris, those chains you got on must be cutting off blood flow to your brain, brother, because you're not thinking straight. You're not thinking straight.
Well, let's move on. I want to move on and talk about something in the search. Sam, I have to bring this up. I have to. I mean, Sam, I'm just tired of seeing it. I'll let you kick things off. First round S&D. What is one thing that nobody has in the first round of S&D that you could take advantage of?
They don't have trophy systems, though.
They don't have trophy systems, so why do teams do nothing on offense in the first round? Like, on the first round, don't you just want to watch cross, maybe throw some shimmies, get some info? Once you know one or two guys are A-side, fuck it, just throw your tax over and fucking hit that shit and get the bomb down.
There must be some, like, genuinely something for these teams to not. It just seems so cut and dry. Like, the guy, like, number 2 playing here, like, you just dump 2 frags on him from the street and you have B-bomb. Like, there must be like another reasoning as to why teams don't do it on offense. Because I mean, we sit on the watch party week in and week out and say the same thing, and it just never happens. I think we've seen someone do it like twice.
And then they make a play with 30 seconds left, and then look at Snoopy. Yeah. Look at the time. There's 10 seconds left. He's trying to go for the plant, and then New York just on the pinch shoots him off the bomb, and there they go. And I don't know. I just feel like it's like little things like that. I mean, and you kind of see like the same play calls throughout the map. Like, I feel like Boston does the do nothing strat a lot. Which I don't know if that's just because they're just trying to spread the map and just work picks. Like, do you think that's just
would call it playing for picks?
Playing for picks. We're getting info.
I like playing for picks in certain situations, but I definitely feel like there's definitely some times where you have to get aggressive on the map and try and make a play, especially on offense. Don't you want to take risk on offense? I mean, if I'm wrong, go ahead. The floor is yours. Do you guys agree with me? Disagree with me? I mean,
no, I 100%. I mean, the onus is on the offensive side of the game. You have to try to make a play to get a bomb down. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, so I don't really know what that was. And then we go into a 3-1 round. I just wanted to give Dante some of his gas here. He was able to hold this by himself. He's on a tractor, and he finds a nice low angle here onto Snoopy through the glass. And then the trade's supposed to come in, but Dante wins the big 2-piece there. This was a big round, because if Boston was able to win this offense, they could probably tie this back up with an easy defense. So it's just a big round from Dante. He goes big there. He ends up turning the corner here and finding a third as well. So Dante letting it fucking sing here in the S&D. And then
I was going to say, a lot of players actually need to be careful. I've noticed this in the multiple matches that we watch Invasion, their trophy placement. You saw Dante's trophy placement. It was over towards the cube. So if teams actually like can use their stuns to kind of find out where that trophy is, you can still exploit grenades onto the like tractor without hitting the trophy system. Yeah, if they throw it like towards the left over high, obviously it's a little bit like a hindsight, right? We're watching the caster, but like if players are going to like not put the trophy directly on top of them on the forklift, I feel like that's something that actually teams could probably exploit.
But like, where is it? Where's it? And where's the trophy now?
He threw it towards you could see it. It was on his screen. It was towards the left, towards like the cube. Yeah, so if like
and
how
do grenades not? How is that trophy not blocking grenade? How can you?
Because you can throw it. Look how far it is from the tractor. You can throw it like so where Snoopy is. He could bounce a nade off of an ice cream building wall and then like hit the tractor. Like
I see what you're saying.
That's just something I've noticed because a lot of like whenever we've been watching, a lot of people put the trophy like behind the cube or the bomb like. So there's just little exploits.
Yeah, you can take advantage of that. No, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely take advantage of that. And then this was actually a big round as well. I mean, a big 1v1 here between Snoopy and Skies. And honestly, Snoopy just gets really unlucky here. Probably gets his kill here if he continues to look there. Probably catches Sky sprinting there. And instead, Snoopy, as soon as he turns around, Skies comes around that corner and kills him. Instead of this being 4-4 now, this ends up being a 5-3 game, which New York was able to go on and close this one out. Just watch it one more time here in the replay. I mean, if you're Caesar, this is like, that's what you want, bro. That's like a little present for you. He just turns around here in a 1v1. Good plays. Caesar Sky's playing. I'll be honest, looking at the stat sheet, Caesar didn't have to do much this series.
He said it in the interview.
He did say in the interview.
His feet kicked up.
Yeah.
He was calling his teammates daddy and listening. He was chilling.
Yeah, speaking about that, that's what I have here next. Let's tune into the listening with New York. It was a vibey listening. They sounded good. Let's tune in and see what they
Then
were
we
saying.
got to talk about Boston's listening because
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, send him on B, send him on B. Reggie, one back left on me. He might push my street, he might push my street. Outer propane, maybe. Reggie, I have no propane. Mid window. One's on the right. Propane, you got elevator. Elevator. Oh no, right side, nice, good shit. Nice, I'm getting top propane, guys. Triple on me. Go left, go left. I'm needing your triple, Go left, guys. Reggie, yeah, I'm gonna go beat down. Triple going right. One shot on the right. There's triple on A, one's on A. Oh, Jen on your right, keys. Yeah, one's paper. I'm weak. I'm looking hella Snoopy, blue. Snoopy, stay blue. Inside blue, left window, press on the ground. Press him left window. Heli steps. I don't see him left window. Heli steps. I shot him twice left. Heli steps. I'm trying to get your up. Got me. Nice. Heli steps. Top belly. One top belly. He went out of propane. One on B, one top belly. Top belly weak, Slasher. Out of propane, we top belly. On B then. Top belly, Mid window weak. Mid window, top belly. Top belly. Top belly. Top belly dead. I need the left window. Beat on my right. Mid window, weak. Underground. I'll be on the ground. I'm one shot. Watch my street. Your street's good. You're gonna hop a B then. I'm watching top B. There's two on A. Two that side. I'm watching top B. One's pushing blue. Our side blue. You saw him on the green top already. Yeah, green top. Ace him one shot. I stunned you. One shot. Yo, street, guys. Out of propane. Hold on, I'm one shot, Paco. It was Flasher. Oh my god, Poppy. Green top on me somewhere. I'm going right. Green top weak. Our side beat
Yeah, Caesar's funny, man.
Nice, good job. I'm pushing out their spawn. I'm left window. Pushing out their spawn. Try to get a kill, Paco. I'm on B.
That was a crazy shot.
I'll tell you what, Skies is fine.
That shot right there at the end was a crazy shot from Paco. That was an insane shot. What'd you guys think about the listening from the New York Subliners? You think they sounded good?
these guys are fucking trolls.
They are
That's what I
trolls.
think.
Let's tune.
They sound good, man.
Let's tune into the Boston Breach listening and see how they sound compared to New York.
Nothing right. Watch on the ground. Back left and probably another one on the ground. I'm one shot. He got me. Okay, back mid and back left. Back. One more mid base.
Yeah,
mid and left. Stay left. Stay point. You can play right, Isham.
One's going out the mid base. He's going out the mid base.
Yeah, two beat up. I got 1 week. One more.
Dante, one back left window.
Back left and look at the
Back left window.
Back left window, bro. Back left window. You should probably work me off your spawn. I need back crack.
Yeah, we're trying.
Mid base, one shot. Heli stairs. Deep light, pocket one.
Underground.
Three. Last one.
One shot from left.
Trying to get on B.
Yeah.
On B. On it. He's got me one shot. He's weak. He's to the left.
Maybe their best teammates, the fifth man, explosive
Snoopy tweaked
barrels,
right there,
taking out
bro.
two members of Subliners.
Right there, I thought Snoopy was just gonna climb the ladder and just try and pistol the guy on point. He was distracted too. He was shooting at somebody, so he might have been able to catch him slipping, or at least try and spawn kill the guys coming off spawn. But there wasn't a lot of time left.
He didn't either. I think the issue with this Boston listening is like, listen, I know we talk a lot about when we watch Snoop, like the movement, the gun skill. He's got a lot you like in a player, but I don't think he's going to progress a couple of levels if he can't figure out how to have better comms, like small talk, really direct his teammates. If he doesn't speak and really give a sense of what he's trying to do on the map, all of his other teammates are trying to pick up the slack, and it's not really going to lead to a lot of consistency. So I think over the course of the season, would like to see him work on that, or he's going to have not hit his ceiling, man. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
No, I definitely agree with that
100%.
take, but also that listening is like, bro, it's desperation time, and usually during desperation time, two things happen to most teams. They either get really frantic in their comms, or they just like shut down entirely. And I think they just kind of like shut down in their comms. Obviously, it's still not a good thing to do, but I mean, it's just kind of expected. But I definitely agree with your take, Ben. Like, Snoopy's comms are very quiet a lot of the time. Even I don't know if it's just the listen-ins, but it's kind of hard to hear at times. And it doesn't really seem like he's directing traffic or kind of like maybe giving his team any like sort of tidbits on how they can make use of his positioning or help him out in a situation.
Yep, and then just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on that Boston. I feel like we talked about New York a lot, but besides for Boston and their comms, I mean, what do you think is next steps for them? Pat, I mean, overview of the Boston Breach, and Ben, you could probably figure out who they're playing next if you want to try and figure out what their schedule's looking like. But
You
I
talking
mean,
about for Boston?
yeah, for Boston. Pat, what are your thoughts with the Boston Breach? I mean, what do you think happened to them today? Do you think New York is just simply just the better roster and they just outclassed them today, or what?
I mean, I just don't think any of them showed up today at all. Preston obviously had a really bad series, but we talked about this squad.
They
Like,
struggled as a squad, yeah.
yeah, like, I mean, why was Slasher their best player before to begin with? Like, this team, again, has an issue with just slaying. They always have, and I like the Asen pickup, but I didn't expect Asen to come onto the team and be the one getting the most kills. Like, the rest of this roster has to pick it up. I think, obviously, Capsule was not doing it either, but this whole squad needs to pick it up, period. I've called it out since the offseason. Like, I don't know what happened to Preston with getting kills, but I feel like he needs to prioritize that. I guess he had this thing on New York where he was obviously like playing for the win, making important routes, but like, that's not what this Boston squad needs. This Boston squad needs kills desperately.
Yeah.
So to me, I mean, still, I feel like they got to figure that out first and foremost.
I think it's like he needs to I think he needs to untrain it.
Yeah, you start Killhorn. Like, you have
Preston-
talent, Preston. Like,
Preston moves too much. I think it's always been his issue the last couple of years in the CDO when I watch him play. Like, he's got elite movement, he's got elite centering, but sometimes he gets in a great position and he gives up the prime spot he's in and he gets caught in between like moving. If he just kind of L triggers a little bit more, I think he'd get a couple more kills.
Not to
from that, a bit more
compare
consistent.
not to
Live or
compare
die
these two
by that
types
too.
of not to
Yeah.
compare these two types of players, but I mean, Attach was talking about how Purge, with his AR, he like moves around a lot and he kind of like tries to run around, and it probably doesn't do them any favors because a lot of the time you want your ARs kind of holding.
Yeah.
Do you think Preston has that similar issue on his teams with
I
an
don't know.
AR?
Preston's always been that player that could run both guns. You know, like he's always done both. He's always had no problem doing both. I mean, I think it's just an adjustment he's gonna have to find. It's something that he's just gonna have to realize with his gameplay, like moving forward, if he's gonna be like that AR player. I mean, if there's anybody who can adapt to a game, I mean, Preston could definitely adapt. I mean, I also think, you know, we're looking at Preston individually, but let's be honest, from top to bottom, the team today just looked off. Like all four of them together as a unit, like they didn't look like a team. And I think that's gonna hurt them. I still think in the respawn sometimes they're too jittery. I don't think it's just a Preston thing. I think it's all of them. They run around too much. And at the end of that control was a perfect example when Snoopy just ran underground and then tried to jump up. Like, he should know that people are coming off spawn and gonna be jumping out those left windows. You know, so it's just about finding those spots and picking those spots and knowing when to slow down and hop on those L triggers and iron up. I think just too many times they're getting caught sprinting and it's hurting them. You guys know how it is, man. When you're playing COD the right way, the game just feels a lot easier and it's a lot easier to get kills.
Yeah, they just come and do.
Yeah, people just run right into your L triggers and, you know, it's just everything feels a lot more simplified and a lot easier. So definitely think Boston need to work on their craft a little bit. Go back, rewatch the series, and try and fix some of their mistakes. The map 1, they had a good start, but they kind of let it go. Map 2, I definitely think a couple rounds here or there, whatever. But you know, the map 3-3-0 was kind of just the cherry on top for New York. They kind of just pummeled them and just let them have it. So congratulations to New York. GG's. Go ahead, Pat.
before we move on, Tom,
Yeah.
I just wanted to summarize what I was saying earlier as well. New York are 6-0 when winning game 1. They're currently on a 9-map winning streak. The only series that they've lost outside of that major event was to Ultra, the best team in the world right now.
Yeah.
They've beat everybody else they played outside of that one event.
Which is
They're
crazy. 'Cause you
extremely
normally-
consistent.
you
They
normally
have the
devalue
reigning
online Call of Duty.
MVP.
So
They
I'm
won
crazy to
world
see you talk about it the
championship.
opposite way.
They won 3 majors last year. This team is godlike. Period.
Doesn't matter.
They had a bad event. They had a bad event. Team's godlike. That's
If they
fact.
go to another event and they do the same thing, you
Ben,
can't just keep
I know what
saying-
you're about to say. I'm ahead of you.
Bro,
Yes,
no one on the,
Chris
no one on the
said
show is
they could
been
maybe
shitting
be
on New York all
okay.
season.
Chris just said this team could maybe be okay. That's literally what he said. They could maybe be good. Like, this
Bro,
team is good. They are
gotta make
godlike.
sure-
We-
we gotta
we-
wait. We gotta wait until they show up.
We don't
to
gotta
land
wait.
again.
We don't gotta wait. We know. We know. Everyone knows.
Bro,
Not
we've
yet.
been doing tier lists.
Anyone
like,
with a brain knows.
the way
Team's
we-
godlike.
The way we've been talking about New York, I think everybody on this show collectively, we've all been waiting for them to round into top form. I know they got top 12 at the major, but post and pre, we had them top 4 or 5 inner tier.
Y'all had them.
they
where
even
do you have
did,
them?
did they win a clean series?
This team
in the
has been
first-
top 4 since the day the
did they
game
have-
released.
Did they
No,
have
you
a clean
disagree
se-
with me.
Hold on,
I'm so
hold on. Did they have a
The
clean series
team
win?
has been top 4. Yes, they've
Did
never
they
not
have
been
a
top
clean
4.
series win at the first stage before the major against any of like the decent teams that were doing well at the time? Did they have any clean ones?
They
'Cause
only played 2, and they lost to Ultra.
I remember a lot of map 5s, and that's all I remember.
Well,
and
the
then I remember
LAG
them getting,
one,
and then I
the
remember
Boston
them
one,
and
the
the
Carolina
and
one.
then exactly, and I remember them getting shit on by Ultra. So yes, listen. At the end of the day, this team
Oh,
has
you
a lot
mean
of
you
talent.
mean like
and I
how
do
every
fully
other team in the
expect-
league did for the whole first stage?
I do fully expect. No. You can't say every team. Ultra and
Every-
FaZe
every
were clear
team.
cut really good that whole stage.
Ultra shit on everybody.
And FaZe was good too. Like you can't say every team when clearly it wasn't every team.
I can say Ultra shit on everybody in stage
can
1.
say
I can
that,
say
yeah,
that
but
objectively. Yes, I did say that. And
I'm
that
more
is
so
true.
just saying that. Listen, bro. At the end of the day, I always take these online results with a grain of salt. Like I do expect them to perform on LAN, but like until they show up to a LAN, or at least
Bro, I'm mind
or
blown.
at least
We're talking about these guys like they're LAG.
No,
like
we're not.
they're maybe online stars and they can't play
No,
on
we're
LAN.
not. No one's
This
saying they're
team
not top
dominated
4.
LAN last year.
No one is saying they're
dominated.
not top 4. We said
Bro,
they're a top 4 team. We just have question marks around them
Stop
still.
talking about last year.
I'm
They're
gonna
starting
get
to-
as long as we
They're starting to
insinuate
over,
that
bro.
they're
No one-
bad on LAN, I'm gonna bring up last year over and
Bro.
over and over. They're not
This
bad on
isn't
LAN.
last year, bro. This
The
isn't last year. No one's talking
This,
about
it,
that,
on
dude.
your-
LAN and
bro.
online goes through all games. It don't matter.
Oh,
Pat, the
There could be a
marker-
million games. LAN and online's the same thing.
The marker in New York is this. We've been saying to them pre-major 1 and post-major 1. Their S&D is very good. All stats, eye test, all of it. Great search. The respawns, when you watch them play respawn, especially hardpoint, especially on invasion and Karachi control, the execution wasn't always there compared to FaZe, compared to Toronto and Optic. And that's why we thought going into major 1, we were a little worried about this New York team. And obviously them getting top 12 is definitely a major swing at their floor. But now it seems like they've cleaned up a lot of, or some of the respawn issues in the first couple of series we've seen them play. They've gotten off to a hot 3-0 start. Now they're going to play FaZe on Sunday, and that is going to be their biggest test so far this stage. So I'm excited to see if this New York team has taken a step, or if they're going to be where we think they are right now, which is below FaZe, below Optic, below Toronto.
That's
Alright,
brave
well-
of you to critique them on Karachi, but this team is godlike.
Well, let's move on. We've been going in circles on that topic. Let's move on to the next series of the day. We had Optic Texas going up against the Minnesota Rokkr. Now, I'm going to pull up the stat sheet first. Okay, so take a look here at the stats. Nearly a red carpet here for Optic Texas, but Brucey with a 1.13. And then you scroll up and you see Optic with the 3-2 victory over the Minnesota Rokkr. So clearly, the stat sheet not adding up with the actual result. I think even Dashy tweeted out after the series today. He said, I don't even know, zero clue how the hell they won that. He even know how they won that. And of course, a lot of crazy moments happened in this series. But I mean, we'll start with you, Ben. I mean, we had Optic come out and get the reverse sweep here. They fall the first 2 maps in Minnesota. We're all sitting here getting ready to play some ranked play or something, or go do something else because we thought it was gonna be a quick day. And Optic were able to find a reverse sweep. And honestly, they clutched up. Couple maps go down to the wire. And especially the last 3 maps, Shotzi, he made a lot of plays, which we'll look over and take a look at. But what were your thoughts on the series, Ben?
I thought for Optic, if you're an Optic fan, you got to feel proud of the boys today. This was a series that I think on another day they probably don't win. And yes, Rokkr made a bunch of mistakes, and we're going to talk about some of the mistakes in the clips we take a look at. But I think Optic still had to make the plays to win, especially in maps 3 and 4, and then map 5. I think we've seen this Optic team really come into form in a lot of these map 5s outside of this series against FaZe. I thought especially Ant made some massive plays in maps 3, 4, and 5 to really keep them in this and to get their ability to reverse sweep this. I do think for Optic, map 2 is still a concern. I think that they're going to need to not stop playing or really think about their S&D map pool right now, because it's now another time they've lost terminal. They're 1-4 in the map. They auto veto high rise. They're at evasion S&D. They're really good at Karachi, and they haven't played real S&D. So I think their S&D map pool is kind of tiny. But I think in general, my Optic thoughts before we get to Rokkr are a good fight back from the boys today.
Yeah, Sam, what did you think about the series? I thought
Optic
this was
had
a
no
roller
business
coaster.
winning this shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. They have zero business winning this series, and
I agree.
I'll sit up here and I'll respect the reverse sweep. I respect that they won the series, because if Minnesota's gonna give you what they gave them, they absolutely good job. They had no fucking business winning this series.
Yeah,
This
I agree.
a 3v14 in control with a streak.
That was insane.
unchokeable. Unbelievable. The 245, 250 on sub base. The amount of absolute bailout two pieces that I watched in the last like 2 minutes of that map to still lose the map, irredeemable, and then just a collapse in game 5. Like,
Yeah.
bro, I'll sit up here and I will commend Optic for the reverse sweep. They don't even know how they won, nor do I. This was an unlosable series from the Minnesota Rokkr, and Jesus fucking Christ, they lost it.
Yeah.
Like, Shotzi went nuts. Brandon had 19,000 damage. Like,
Yeah, I definitely
no
think
idea,
it's good
bro.
to see Bruce having a series like this. I mean, he had 19,000 damage. And Bruce,
Yeah.
Bruce,
he
besides,
was shooting.
Bruce
Fifth
was
most
shooting the whole
damage in a
series.
series.
I love
this
it when
year.
Bruce gets active.
I was gonna say, Pat, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. How you were like, you want Bruce to get into the mix more and start getting active. And today he dropped 19,000 damage. Man, he had.
Guy's got
1.13.
one of the best shots, if not the best shot in the entire league. I like it when this guy gets active.
Do you think that was
Period.
an X factor for them, Pat?
I mean, like the X factor was the fact that the Rokkr are horrible, and they absolutely.
Does that
So
have-
that's
I
the
have-
X factor.
I had an
If
X
we're gonna
factor.
really break it down. That's the X factor.
Oh, Brandon
But-
had over 2 minutes of hill in game 4.
But I love Brandon getting active. Yeah, they
yeah,
barely
2 minutes
won.
of hill
They
in game
barely
4,
won.
by the way.
They barely won. Barely won that.
Oh, yeah, no, he's getting active, though. You're right.
I mean,
He was getting
They got
active.
blown out by 100 game 1. 2
damage.
minutes of hill in game 4, by the way. Yeah, he's active as fuck.
Well, I mean, when Kenny and Predator and Shotzi are dropping like Benjay numbers.
oh,
of
we're moving the
course-
goalpost now. Okay.
Of course, like
2
it doesn't
minutes on
matter
hill.
who's in the
Tagging
hill.
Me, what the fuck?
my
But-
bad.
2 minutes in hill,
Yeah.
by the way.
I'm sorry,
Brandon
man.
getting active for this team is always going to be a dub. Always,
Mhm.
always.
Mhm.
I mean,
Always.
People need
not
to be
always, 'cause
people
they
need to
probably should've
be
lost this,
riding
like,
his coattail. That's a
they
fact.
probably- They should have lost the first one of the
my
series.
boy.
I mean, I just said the X factor was the fact that the Rokkr are absolutely horrible.
The
But
Rokkr are not. Listen, the Rokkr. The tough thing for Rokkr is their last 5 games. 2 of them against Optic and 2 of them been against Toronto. In the last 2 series they played,
Unlucky.
have gone to map 5, so they battled hard with these teams. So if you're a Rokkr fan, some tough losses like the last couple of weeks, but this team's got some good upside. To me, first off, most impressive player in this team, a tie with Lamar, who's frying at an absolute level. I thought real hardpoint. We talk a lot about how subs are so
sneeze coming.
impactful on that map, bro. The shit that Lamar is doing on like P2 and P5 on that map, like definitely a textbook AR plays. And maybe we'll take a look at some of those clips. And Lens, man, the impact plays that this guy Lens is making. I mean, he's definitely in the rookie of the year conversation and edge on the MVP conversation right now, edge of that conversation. But the other 2 had their moments in the series, but they also had their lowlights as well, which we'll get to.
Yeah. But people in the chat ask if I'm okay. You guys ever have a sneeze and you can't get the sneeze out? It just keeps coming and going away, and I can't get the sneeze out, so I look like a moron. But yeah, I want to show one clip. Well, I want to show a few clips. So one of them in the beginning of, or sorry, like the midway towards the end of the hard point. I think this is an opportunity here where Optic can break on into this hard point and bring this back. And I thought Reese made a really good play here, pushing out boxes. Reese pushes out boxes. He's able to get a couple kills, and I think that just slows down their push a lot. But the biggest play comes after this. Shotzi gets the play, makes a play, gets a 2-piece, but Big Wake pops a 2-piece for the trade. And I kind of want to show Big Wake some love today, man. Me especially, I've been on Big Wake's ass, bro. I just feel like he could be playing a lot better than what he's been showing in prior series. And I thought today, the first few maps, he came out and was showing everybody what he's capable of and what he can do. So I thought that was a big play from him, and I just wanted to show Big Wake some gas. I mean, did you guys think Big Wake played well today?
I think he played really good on the 3rd map, like really, really good. But I mean, at the end of the day, like this team is not coming out with wins when I think especially this series was unlosable.
This was unlosable.
I don't know. You said Wake did obviously get a lot of kills 3rd map, but I also think he was part of the reason they lost to the end, and we'll get to that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm with Sam. Like, I'm trying to find like points to talk about, but it's just like, what the fuck happened? Like,
I mean, there
this
was a
is
lot
not-
of like there was just
there's
a
a
lot of
little, like,
decision
tiny
making.
plays, yeah.
It's just a lot of like small shit that just like cascaded into just colossal failure. Like the Wake streaking at the end of the control, like it seems small, but that was like a big moment for them to lose that map.
Quick
Yeah.
pause before
Yeah.
we look at this clip, Tom. I do want to have one more thought about the map 1, which is we talked about some like square ups on Rio. I do think this is an interesting kind of wrinkle now because we thought, okay, Toronto FaZe Optic going to be probably the best Rio teams. This Rokkr team looks good on Rio too, so I think teams got to have a pause about potentially not just auto challenge a team like Rokkr map 1 in the series. I know Optic was team A, so they picked this one. Just got to be careful because the Rokkr team has people that shoot back. The subs this year back, and we saw what Lamar did in that map as well.
I mean, they've shown a proficiency on that map, and I think if you play them now that they have beaten statistically the 2 best hardpoint teams in our league, if you play them on that map, you're griefing your veto.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming FaZe will play them on it because it's an ego child. FaZe is confident on it. They haven't played it yet, but I think anyone other than FaZe playing that map against Rokkr is an absolute mistake.
Yeah, well, the thing is though, like during the stage, sure, like there might be some teams that like test it, like see if they can beat them on it, especially teams that are confident like FaZe. But like if you don't play these guys during the stage and you play them at the major, yeah, for sure, like that map is gone. I'm interested to see what kind of other maps they're going to get in their map pool. But Minnesota has just shown a lot of improvement. Regardless if they haven't been able to close out any of these series. I mean, they're against 2 of the better teams in our league. It sucks to see for them, but at the end of the day, it's still some good signs for this roster moving forward when it comes to like the rest of the league.
And I think as we get to the second map, Tom, we look at clips. It's a vulnerability in Optic because they're a team that often gets team ace, so they're picking that hard. But if they lose their pick, and again, we talked about how deep the rest of the map pool is not. They're going to get the other team's best search map in that next map. And I think that's why a couple of times we've seen Optic go down 0-2 in a few of these series.
Well, the thing is though that you can tip like as much as like Rokkr definitely did make mistakes, you still I can still tip Optic here because the fact that like this team, especially old iterations of Optic, if you remember, like they always got roasted for like being a team that would outslay and still not be able to like win. And like having a series like that where they get absolutely cooked, they still fight, they still end up coming on top with some of these maps, like. I mean, it's tippable because they're definitely playing a little bit more objective oriented. They just got to start to, translate that into kills, especially versus the better teams.
That was a completely different roster, though.
Well, yeah, of course, but I'm just saying like historically. So it's kind of like maybe it's like a cultural.
Well, there was
shift,
a factor to that, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's just like a cultural shift between the team at the end of the day. We'll see how the rest of the season pans out. But I mean, the resilience. I mean, it's a good sign. It's a good sign for this team.
I really like the double webcam here and the 1v1s that they've been doing, like showing live react, just showing their face cam the whole time when they're in the 1v1. I really like that because you can see you can see both players' reactions when the gunfight goes down. But I think we can all agree that Ant maybe trolled here, or not maybe, definitely trolled here. He saw him pushing him here, so I think Ant should just stay down there and not even chow. There's not a lot of time left in the clock, so give it a few seconds there. Wait till maybe 11, 12 seconds pop up. He probably won't be there anymore. He'll probably start running back towards bomb because he has to, and Ant will probably clutch that round. I think we can all agree that was probably a little bit of a Shotzzy troll there.
Yeah.
And then in the next round, AG, he nades himself, and I don't know how. So you can see him down there. You can see him down there in the parking lot. And this is a defense as well for Optic, and we know how important terminal defenses are. So I'm not really too sure what happened here with AG. You can see him down here in the parking lot.
He was bottom playing.
Wait, bro. You know what's crazy? He threw that nade probably around the bottom of the slide, and he probably hit a wall, and it just came down on him. Because look, you'll see it. Like he's not standing still to throw a grenade. He walks right into it.
Yeah.
So he definitely threw. He probably tried nading the desk push. Like there's actually some nades you can get in through the glass overhead of the Dream's desk. And he probably threw a nade over there. It bounced off the wall, and then it probably just fell on top of him.
Yep, and in Minnesota, they're able to use their numbers through plane here and win the round. So it's just a couple rounds off the rip, and I think we were all sitting here like, man, what's Optic doing, man? First, Ant trolls the 1v1, then AG nades himself. And the next round, it was just a couple rounds that Optic were kind of just handing to Minnesota. Then a little bit of controversy here in the 3-3 round. A lot of people were saying that this was a broken GA here. So you can see the first smoke opens up here. And then the next person was Linz, who kind of gets caught out in Hall here, and he throws a smoke down. A lot of people were saying broken GA in the chat, but after watching it back through VAR, I think that was Optic smoke.
This smoke so Kenny could get up here.
Right.
I think Shotzzy smoked mid hall so Ken could hit top 3 without getting killed by the guy rushing library.
Which brings me to my next point. I
Insane
fucking hate that.
smoke.
I fucking hate that.
I
hate that. Why would you smoke out mid hall for Kenny to get top AC? If anything, just have somebody watch mid hall, make sure they don't push it, and nobody pushes it. Then you can just climb up for free if nobody's there, or just climb up through ladder. If somebody pushes out your S key and holds B side, and nobody pushes up, like they could climb the ladder and just get top AC that way. It's just risky doing what he did. And smoking mid hall when you're on defense, I always feel like
opportunity.
Yeah, you're giving them an opportunity.
Their own smoke is crazy.
Yeah, you're just giving it. It's almost like you're giving the offensive team 2 smokes because you're already smoking out their mid hall for them.
Yeah, you can easily have one guy go like red steps and like look at book, or even jump on top of the crates on the side of the slide and look in a book while that guy hops up. So definitely some other angles, but I mean, at the end of the day, they probably had like a strat in mind. It just ended up almost working out in the other team's favor.
Yeah, and then this was the 4-4 round. I thought this was a big round. I mean, what do you guys think about Optic's setup here? Because they seem to do the same thing. They kind of let Shotzzy just play playing by himself, and it kind of faulted his default a lot. And then you'll see Shotzzy, he goes back to this back plane ladder, and he'll kind of use his pistol and climb up and down the ladder and try and catch people slipping. I mean, what do you guys think about this? Do you think it's a good play to give teams full plane control like this? Like, is this something that you think is ideal? Maybe they're trying to play retakes with their tax. I mean, what do you guys think is going on here? Because Minnesota was able to just waltz into play and get the bomb down and win this round.
I don't really like it, but at the end of the day, I still see why people do it, because you can play retakes on that bomb pretty easily just because the whole plane is wall bangable. But also, Optic has this thing where they like to do a lot of no-show strats in the plane, where there'll be people like
hiding,
watching certain crosses, and then the people in the plane aren't peeking anything or
A lot of
showing
teams
face
do
at
that.
all.
They did that literally the first round and
Yeah.
got a two-piece on it because
Yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So a little bit of mind games probably coming out from the Optic camp in that sense. But yeah, this bomb is not really hard to retake, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Especially if
almost
you
got
have
the
tax.
kill off bomb. He almost killed him off bomb. He had one more burst in there. He probably could have made that happen. But good place in Minnesota. They use their numbers. They get into playing. They get the bomb down, and then you can see already it's Lamar just late pinching AC, and he's able to pick up some stragglers here. So good plays from the Minnesota Rokkr here. It was a big round, round number 9 there. I think a 4-4 round is always really big. And then going into the defense, Minnesota was able to clear it out and win. Optic actually go for a beat hit here. They actually try and hit out Esky here. They throw the smoke down. It was Lamar who's top Esky. He's got Lins right next to him to work with, and see Optic, they try and get aggressive. And I think the biggest thing here for Optic is nobody picked up the pinch here. Minnesota kind of just ran right through, and I think it's just a good heads-up play from Minnesota as well on the defense to get aggressive here in the pinch. I think Dashy was able to get one before he falls, but even right now, even Big Wake, I know Dashy trades the kill out, but now everybody on Optic has to turn around, right? Like AG has to turn around. He can't help bomb. It kind of scatters the whole setup, and it was just a really good play from Minnesota. I thought the double pinch there was flawless. Whoever called that out, I thought it was a great play call. What'd you guys think?
Yeah, they were reactive, and they pincered them in and got freebie kills because they weren't watching the pinch.
I'm not a fan of every single player on Optic playing towards the escalator side of the map and Burger.
Yeah.
In general, it's just you leave your flank open, but 2, you leave that red hall open. So like there's just multiple vulnerabilities in Optic's push, and Rokkr picked the right one. Usually most people will send a guy in book to pretty much deny like the red hallway hit whenever they hit out this escalator, and then that guy can shift towards the pinch later. But yeah, I mean, just Rokkr taking advantage of the vulnerabilities in Optic's play.
Who got shit on Burger? Was that Pred?
At the end, yeah. At the
Hit with the drop shot?
yeah.
He was dead anyways, bro. He's a 1v3 trap in the corner.
Yeah, I
was
know,
dead
but
anyway.
at least get a kill.
Well, he got shot by someone else. He didn't die. Over the other
I also think that now this
Ow,
is
he was
this
in the
is
corner.
this is
No, Lins kills him.
obviously
Wake was the one that could have killed him right there. Wake, and
this
Lins
is
killed him.
obviously hindsight now. Like looking back at it, could be he could have done this, it could have done that. But do you guys think Boosie maybe if he throws a shimmy here, sees 2 guys, just runs and challenges
Well,
Esky?
I just don't think they had a game plan post plant, which is like something that I've been harping on for B bomb on this map. Is like people are so worried about just getting to the bomb, they don't think about like after they plant the bomb, where the fuck are we gonna go?
Yeah.
And I think this is a perfect example. Like they were so worried about just getting to the bomb and getting it down that there was just no game plan afterwards. And something like this is exactly what happened.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the vulnerability on like breaking the setup is always contingent on like a flank through Red Hall or Burger, because if you do flank through Burger, which is what Rokkr did, even if they don't catch these players here, they either like double team the guy on the flank around Book or Dreams, kill him maybe, and then if they do get towards this back Burger, that puts pressure on the players to like sit on like the other side of the escalator, which they're more open and less prone to like snaking. And like they're just gonna get pinched. So that's why, like I said, I just don't like Optic all being in that scenario. Sure, it might work, from time to time, but if Rokkr or any other team just decides to like flank, it's just they're fucked.
I think the best play for Optic here is to push through, especially if Bruce gets info on the flank, because he shoots first. Before he slides down shouts, he knows one guy's 100% there before he does that, because he puts some shots down into him. I mean, I almost feel like here you just kind of play for Esky. You already have Ant top AC. Yeah, I mean, if Kenny or somebody like challenges bottom Esky, they can work some trades here. They can even push through and go back to A if they want to. Like push right through, trade out these kills and bring the bomb straight through parking lot to A.
Yeah.
Just maybe trying to just pick a side, because right here I just feel like Brucey fighting the flank, Ant's top AC looking at Esky, Kenny's out of the play planning the bomb. So it's just kind of they're just kind of playing these 1v1s here, and I just feel like Minnesota was able to break it down and break down
It's
the
just so
setup.
difficult, Tom, because like it's easier said than
Oh, it's
done.
hard.
Because, like,
It's definitely easier said than done, bro. Trust me, I hate this bomb site. I hate the B bomb site.
Dude,
It's
same.
a very
your two
bad
options
site.
are either just running through red hallway with no cover and like getting crossfire from players that like are like still like waiting at A probably, or like mid. Or you're running down this escalator hallway and like look at where accuracy is, right? Like he's just tucked into like a rat corner, and like they also have to like clear out the back head glitches. It's just such a shit bomb site. That's why you can't put all your players here. Like it's just there's just no place to go.
Yeah, no, I agree. The bomb site's fucking ass, and like I said, it's hindsight looking at it back now and trying to see what they could have done. It's just trying to figure out, what is the best way to play it. And Sam, I think I remember you saying even one time just pushing through might be a good play. I forgot.
It just depends on the info on the pinch, because like there's something that Pat called out like literally months ago at this point, and it's like super late playing the A side of the map to the point where like you 3-1 it, and you just have someone late play hall to just cut that entire angle, so the guys that are pushed up on the bomb can play the gunfights like Eskies in top 3. Like if the mid hall doesn't have to be watched, those guys like essentially will never die on the bomb.
That's what I'm saying. You can do some cringy shit. Like you can go into like dreams and just not even show your face. Like
exactly.
Like,
Plus you might get a freebie with a guy running through terminal.
Yeah, like off the rip of the round, you can go to dreams, right? Look at red plat. Okay, nobody's like insta pinching. Just tuck yourself in a corner, do nothing, and then like wait and then late peek that hallway or like late hit plane. Like you can do so much shit. That's why it's just not a good play what Optic did that round.
And then let's go into the list.
listens.
Oh, go ahead, Pat. What are you gonna say?
Never
No one listens. Tom, I was doing that in 2009, 2010, and it was working like a charm then.
Yeah, Pat, you tried to teach
Same gun,
these
too,
guys,
ACR.
man. You think they gotta go back? Maybe watch some VOD, Pat?
Well, none of the MW2 VOD exists anymore.
Ah, shit, really? You all got deleted?
It was all on MLGpro.com.
That sucks. That fucking blows. Then we go into the control. Let's go into the listening with Optic Texas here and see how they sound.
I'm one. Gun there now. We either take.
Lamar on the street.
On there. Lens.
Yeah, one was back right. One was left street somewhere.
Hey, one's our useless. Awakening. I spawned out. Go top there. Players got useless, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to play. One, recent point.
Mid. Our mid 80.
He's Coop or some shit.
Mid 80, bro. Mid 80, wait. Close. One's our useless still.
Yeah, one's useless.
Close crate on me.
Nice, it's two.
Crate's lit. In the corner, I got him. Alright, last time
I have the pinch.
Cap this shit.
You guys cap that. Yeah,
Hold on.
How about useless pinch?
I'll look left across the point, bro. We're good.
How about useless pinch still?
Top fire.
They're gonna refill useless.
80 from the mid.
Top
Top. I'm watching.
Yeah, no one refills. You went to top fire. One's useless.
Fire.
Nice. One's useless, guys.
We're gonna wait. One's what the fuck? He's deep my truck. Late.
Yeah, one's out.
One's deep.
I'm covering useless.
200 useless. One go take it. Let me close right hut. Close right hut. Close right. Yeah. Close right. Good call. Close right. One. Awaken. He's run. He's one shot.
I'm in ticket. I honestly ticket.
He's laying behind the head. He's laying behind the wall.
Yeah, almost able to get two there. What'd you think about the comms? I know, Sam, you weren't a big fan of the comms in the moment when we were watching the Watts party. But what, did you just want more small talk for them, Sam? Because I felt like they weren't really small talking too much, especially in the beginning of the listening.
Yeah, I think we're just like comparing to the rest of the listeners we've heard from them. I feel like the energy, like not necessarily the energy, more of like the information being relayed was kind of shit. And like in series when you're losing, like they were down 2-0 at this point, like it's kind of hard to dig yourself out of that mentally, like in the comms, like to get the energy going. And I think from like that map, if they had done another listen, I guarantee you they were going 200% harder after that map ended, because like they like needed kind of a Kickstarter. But yeah, just like comparing it to the listeners that we've heard from this team in the past, that was really not that great.
It's difficult though. Like if you watch like the map, like I feel like Rokkr wasn't really showing them anything, and they weren't really giving them any sort of like extra information. Like there were some players on Rokkr that got caught off, like got caught up in like a position, but like Optic really couldn't activate on those players because they were just so worried about so many other positions, and Rokkr was just doing a good job of like no showing. And like you could tell because those rounds, they came down to like the final round where, let's say Rokkr on those defensive ends or Optic on those defensive ends, right? We're playing like perfect defense up until the final moments where they get like a 3 dead or 4 dead. And that's why you saw so many offensive wins during that map.
Yeah. No,
like, also, I can't believe Optic calls one of the most important parts of the map useless, by the way. That's so fun. That's just so ironic to me.
Wait, where do they call useless?
I think they call junk useless. Like that whole like P5, I think they call that useless.
The most important part of the map.
It's like one of the most important parts of the map. I think they call that useless.
That's hilarious.
Because AG said he was holding the pinch while he was looking at it, and I was like, wait, what is that? What the fuck?
Let me go into the 1-1 round. This is where Lamar makes a play. He sneaks through back yellow alley, and he's actually able to make a play here. Kenny gets caught with his pants down here. Not really too sure what the spot was from Kenny there, but even after the fact, They all get the kills. Minnesota get the kills here, but I still thought New York, Optic was going to be able to get in here and break this. But Lamar somehow stays alive here. He wins a big 1v1 here onto Kenny there. And then once he wins that, he's somehow able to just get down, stay alive, and his teammates come, they reinforce, and Minnesota, they end up just somehow squeaking by and winning this offense. That was just a crazy round there, and it was a good play from Lamar. I don't know how Lamar got there, because Kenny looked like he got caught with his pants down here. And I think Lamar probably just took a little route. I mean, where did he come from?
I think he just run up like
he spawns. Yeah, he spawns chicken coop. He just takes a route. Just takes a long route here.
He runs up dark, and Kenny just gets bad timing when he like gives it up on the shift towards like the diner, and then he shoots him in the back. Yeah. So I mean, it was just a good timing route out of Lamar. It's just it was a good play.
Yeah, no, it was a good play. Lamar, he took a good route. Those are just the little things that you don't see on the scoreboard. But Lamar takes a really good route here. He gets him behind, and as soon as he finds his entry here onto Kenny, that kind of opens up this site here. Gets all control. He ends up winning another one on Hill. Just good plays from him. And then, of course, we got to go to the infamous round, the 3 and fucking, what was it, 12?
3 and 14.
Wait, before you move on, do you know what's crazy about that Lamar play? I wonder if he took advantage of the sound cue. So you see how like Lamar tucks himself into that corner? He probably hears Kenny get on the point because you hear the little like ding when somebody touches the point on either team. And then he doesn't leave that position until Kenny gets off the point, which again makes another noise that the guy's no longer on the point. So he's probably not looking towards him. He's probably pushing up towards like red.
I think he also sees him cross. He
gets good timing on it, and he just realizes the play. If he used the sound cue to his advantage, then props, because it was a great play.
Yeah, and then this is kind of, I think, the ultimate breakdown here. I mean, it's a 3 versus 12 in favor of the Minnesota Rokkr. Minnesota can 3-0 Optic Texas right here, right now.
Hold on, back it up like 5 seconds. There's a comedy of errors, and it starts with fucking Reese in this situation. Because I don't know how you guys feel about Reese. It's 3v14, right? Just hold your irons, play around the hill. They legitimately have no lives. And Reese kind of throws away his life, and at this point, they're coming off a spawn, so it's getting a little bit mixy. Like, I think Reese probably should just held the desk there, got some info, and sort of waited for his team.
I agree.
Reese needed to guarantee that one of his teammates can get to him. He needs to do anything that he can to make sure that Optic cannot cut at least one of his teammates.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not even too sure what Reese's thought process was here. I mean, it's a 12v3. You're on the point with 10 seconds left. I mean, I feel like anybody else, I mean, you just sit there and pre him and just let they're going to run right into you. And you don't have any teammates with you, right? And then I think the biggest mistake here, I mean, there was a lot of mistakes, but I didn't like the streak from Big Wake either.
The streak was bad.
You know that they're 3 stacking it. There is only one way Optic wins this map, and it's by stacking a point. So why would you streak here? You're not gonna be able to get the streak in there, and you're wasting time. Like they're on the point stacking. So by the time you call the streak, get the missile on the ground, all that, so much time's already gonna go by. And as you can see, I mean, look, when the streak hits the ground, I mean, there's 2.5 ticks already there. They don't connect with the streak. Shotzzy, he's able to find one. He falls. Brucey comes in with a quick trade, and nobody there from Minnesota is there to get in the point. Big Wake was in his streak. He was 34 and 17. This guy was in his streak when they were stacking a point. I mean, there was just no way to get trades there. And you could see just how turned up the Optic boys were to win that one. They were just able to find all the kills, and definitely think just a couple of throws there from Minnesota between Reese running off the point and Big Wake calling in the streak, which I'm sure was a team thing. I mean, maybe the team told him to do it, or I don't know. I really have no idea.
I mean, listen, I kind of agree with Sam's take when we broke it down post-map.
Ben, did you call it a great streak? Somebody in the chat said you called it a great streak.
Here's my issue with this streak. Like, here's my issue with the streak. Here's my issue with the streak. And Pat, shut the fuck up because you clearly didn't watch
you called this a great streak?
You clearly didn't watch this map live.
I was literally about to say Wake isn't a winner because of this streak, and you called it a great one. Break it down for us, Ben.
You're gonna love me.
Go ahead, Ben.
Here's my issue with Wake streak, bro. He didn't even give himself a fucking chance. Because he streaked the backside of hill, like the back right corner, where there's gonna be 0 fucking splash damage. He didn't curve it. He called it straight down and panicked. Like he didn't even give him a chance to curve it in there.
So can we go back to the moment before he streaks? Because I actually can break this down and probably.
It was second off spawn.
If they were going to streak, I could have told you exactly what they should have done with the streak. So can we go back to like when he streaks?
I'm going back.
Okay.
He streaks.
I'm waiting for the VOD to catch up.
So he streaks as soon as he comes off spawn here. Boom, boom. He dies. Okay, number 7, Big Wake, 34 and 17. He comes off spawn, and he insta calls the streak here. Boom.
No, he takes a couple steps forward. He doesn't insta call the streak, which is important.
He takes one step, 2 steps forward.
let me break this whole play down for you and how you would play this in a better
Chris,
scenario.
go
Okay,
ahead.
so they come off spawn. Lamar, the first mistake is Vivid obviously peeking off the point. Vivid needs to stay down. Lamar says he has his cross. Vivid stays down. He buys more time. Okay, even if Vivid dies, right when they streak. So you can get splash damage and deny the entire window. You see where Shotzi's laying down right there? If he puts the missile to the right in the open area of the glass, that kills that player no matter what. So if he uses that streak, Optic is obviously going to realize they can die there. They're going to run away, and they're going to give up this entire window, and they're going to give up the entire hop. So any player off spawn, you'll see number 5. He comes off spawn, and he tweaks. He like starts running down yellow alley and then turns. He should have hit that alley. If he hits that alley, he gets over that wall for free and gets towards the point and then starts to pressure them from the side. But he doesn't do that. He ends up tweaking, goes top satellite. Number 8 also goes around. That street is essentially useless because not only does it, like, do they just not take advantage of the fact that they can deny that entire window, but they just go from the open end and then Optic stacks and finishes the point. So that is not hindsight. That is literally, that is where that streak is effective. It denies the entire window and it denies that entire hop up. So if you're going to streak, you pretty much have that hop up for free every single time.
I'm gonna
period.
sum it up here. That streak was terrible. They should have never streaked to begin
Bro,
with.
they
Should have never streaked to begin with, bro.
You're a
You're in a
professional player
12v3. They're stacking the point. You know for a fact the streak is just gonna
they're not
waste
listening,
time. Just fucking get in there. Just
I'm not
run at
saying
them.
it's not- I'm not
Just
saying
hop
it's
the
a good streak.
dumpster.
I'm
If anything,
saying if
I
your
would have much
intent is
rather
to use a
saw
streak,
them,
that is
Chris.
where the play comes
Just
in.
Wait,
4
wait
hop
past the
dumpster
streak.
and trade. Ben, I'm talking here. Ben, I'm
You
talking.
didn't listen.
Go ahead.
No one
That was
listened, bro.
crazy.
I would have
I heard
much
what
rather
you said.
saw them just hit through yellow alley and hit the back dumpster and just trade them out. Just trade them out, get in the point,
You
and,
wanted to
and
just
call
be
it a
You're
You're
day.
not that,
climb
but that's
up
what
the
I'm
dumpster?
saying. Listen,
All
if
them?
you go
Yeah,
over
it's better
that
than the
dumpster,
streaking.
you're not listening. If you go over that dumpster,
I don't know
you're
about that
going
play.
you're going to get team shot and farmed. The streak denies that dumpster hop up watch. So if you streak, you hit that dumpster. Sure, they could have made a play without the streak and maybe it would have worked, but I'm saying if your intent ever is to streak that point, that is your point of entry every single time because it denies it. Period.
No, I get that. I get that.
They should have-
And
they
I'm
were
not,
going to
and I'm
streak,
not,
they should have hit
and
the
I'm not
alley.
saying
Bro,
4
I'm
dumpsters a good play. I'm just saying I would have much rather that than them streaking and relying on the streak there. Because Lamar sat yellow alley, couldn't make a play. They waited in the streak. They kind of did it to themselves there, bro. I definitely feel like right there, the one thing you don't want to do is call a streak. Go ahead, man.
But this is my issue
Jesus
with
Christ,
Wick, bro.
man.
Is like, listen, you get paid a lot of money to be a professional player, and that's knowing how to curve your streaks and place them in the right spots. And to Chris's point, Wade couldn't do that in a clutch moment. That's why you're getting paid. That's why you're in the top dollars. That's why you're playing the NFL equivalent of the COD. And this is the issues that we've seen with him, where his inability to find ways to win maps.
Pat, what did you think about the play, Pat?
I think if I'm ever in a 3v14, I'm never calling a streak in any scenario ever.
You're just using your gun and you're not fucking up the assembly line. And
Yeah.
your trades are going to be on the right
very
timings.
Simple. Yeah, very simple. But I will say, look, I don't think Wake's the winner. Straight up, period.
Jesus
I don't-
Christ.
I just don't think he's. I think he's a good player. I think he can get kills. I just don't think Wake's the winner.
Thank you,
That's
Pat.
just
I
my
said that
opinion.
on the Breaking Point podcast and got roasted apparently. So I don't know what's up with that. People are saying, "Oh, he won a mono for 2019," and fair point, but like we haven't seen him get anywhere close since then.
5v5 COD is also not real COD. Every single bit of it should be disregarded entirely from the history of the CDL. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna just
shit.
bring. Now we go into the sub base, and the ending here, I mean, was fucking insane. I think one player that I just want to focus on here is Shotzi. I think this was the biggest play. So Shotzi, you can see where he spawns. You can see the route that he takes here off the spawn. First, he gets a. I think that spawn in general was kind of weird, right? Like Shotzi spawning there.
weird.
It was a little weird because Kenny's across the map here.
AG's in the chat. I would love to know what AG's comms were when he fucking spawned there and called out.
The fact that Shotzi spawned there is already like kind of insane. Like I definitely think that the spawn. This map is terrible, by the way.
That is
Sub is
unexplainable. That is
Yeah, it's
unexplainable.
unexplainable.
No, that one's
That's-
not a good one.
that
That's
is not
that's
an
the
explainable
slasher
one.
game is shit spawn
That's
for
not
sure.
that's not even one that you can rationale in any sort of way like we sometimes can, but like that is just stupid.
And Lamar makes the play. He waltzes out of tunnel, gets pushed up cages under Optic, and look at the play he makes. He gets a 2-piece, big wake with 1. There's 3 dead. But Shotzi, he makes the play. He kills him off the point. They don't win the game. Shotzi plays his life. He jumps out the windows, comes back to point, kills him off the point again. And then the trades go down. Last one here is Reese and Dashy. He was able to get Shotzi's back there, Dashy and Shotzi, the Optic duo went crazy right there. They saved him that map right there. That play that they made saved
that's
them.
really good. That's really good finesse. I mean, like people give Shotzi a lot of shit, and I even sometimes give him shit for some of the stuff he does. But there's a point in time, and there's a time and place for him to like use his IQ and like his finesse to make plays and disrupt the enemy. And that was a perfect time for him to do that because he obviously they need to do it, and it won him the game.
Yeah, no, it was a really, really good play from Ant. I thought it was an even better play from Lamar when he got through mid and was able to two-piece him off point. I thought he called game for a second.
Well, Lamar also threw the stun instead of sliding behind the box, which is kind of unfortunate because if he actually got a cover, he would have had cover from the guys in the middle, and they probably played this differently. He stays down from the guy's server, and maybe they get the trades. And win.
Lamar, let me see here. He gets one, he gets two, and then he tries to. Well, I don't think they knew. I don't think they knew where he was.
Idea. I mean, just in hindsight, if he gets behind the box, he can stay down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hindsight. But I think the reason why they had no idea is because Ant got such a weird spawn. I think it may realistically, if Ant spawns where he's supposed to, he's going to be coming up ramp or coming from Lamar's left. Like he's going to be on the left side of the map somewhere. So I think they just lost track of Shotzi. He didn't know where he was. And of course Lamar, he gets shot off the point. Ant makes a good play. He uses that spawn and makes a really good play.
He also threw Vivid for a loop because Vivid runs up the stairs thinking Shotzi's still going to be up top, but Shotzi jumps down to the window behind him and shoots the player off the point. So I mean, like I said, it was just he played it perfectly, did everything he needed to do, and it won him the game.
Yeah, and I think after the control, I mean, look at Reese's face here. I mean, they were losing fucking composure, bro. Minnesota had to be losing it here. And then, of course, we go into the last and final map of the series. This one ended up being a Karachi S&D here. And take a look at the first round here. Ant was able to make a play here through bridge. He had already found one in the round here. And take a look here. The bomb is down. He ends up smoking the bomb out. He hops the bomb. He's on the defuse right now. And take a look at
back up like 15 seconds to actually how AG gets there because of the retake. He just hops over the wall and no one's actually watching this cross.
You're talking about AG?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Ant here. So Ant gets his kill.
AG.
Sorry, I apologize. I meant Ant. Ant gets his kill and then he's able to actually hop over the wall. And since no one from Minnesota is watching that cross, he just hops over for free and kills that guy in the cubby.
Yeah,
just hops over. No one's watching. No info. And the guy on the bridge is sitting duck. Yeah,
but
I mean, Shotzi made a good play, but Vivid is shitting himself when he saw that player die and Shotzi got into a spot. He just sat in that cubby and didn't move. He could have easily repositioned to the back of the bridge. Like he's just shitting himself in that cubby. Like he could have easily repositioned himself to the back of the bridge and made been in a better spot to kind of watch.
And take a look at this. Shotzi hops on a defuse. Big Wake starts lighting him up on a defuse. He hops off, gets behind the bomb, reach house, and shits on him. Which, I mean, a Big Wake just gets him off the bomb. That's a Minnesota W right there. So right off the bat, I'm like, oh, shit. This got reverse sweep written all over. Amp just three-pieced him in the first round. He gets on a ninja. He gets shot off bomb, and he ends up pooping on him. Look, he starts laughing. I'm like, bro, this is just not going good. Then we go into the next round here. Forgot what the fuck I even wrote down for the fucking last map because it was just bad. This was just Minnesota chokes. Oh, yeah, the 3-2 round. Okay, so I want to get you guys' opinion here. It's a 2v2 situation, okay? Vivid pushes through the back of the spawn. He pushes through P2. Lamar clears all of junk, pushes all through through junk. They pinch the side. They pinch both spawns here, and there's still 28 seconds left, right? If you're Minnesota, you got to know that they're in red, right?
That's the only place you haven't cleared.
It's the only place they could be. I mean, if they're not
playing
in
the day one.
Right. They're in a day one spot. I was just confused when Lamar creaked open a door here. I'm thinking recent Lamar, they have to work together here. 2v2 situation, 20 seconds left on the clock. You know they're in red. Lamar should be waiting for Reese to poke open his... Like, Lamar should be waiting till Reese gets a little bit closer. That way they can challenge this together and bang through this. And Lamar doesn't even corner check this. Like, he just nades the right and then nades his teammate. He naded Reese. And I was like, bro, like,
crazy.
Do you guys agree with me right there? That, like, right there,
no,
especially in a 3-2 round, they got to play together, bro. It's a 2v2 with 20 seconds left. This is a big round. It's a 4-3. Instead of this going to a favor of 3-3 for Minnesota, this ends up being 4-2, and it just looks a lot different now. All right, so I just thought this was just a really, really big swing round here. Good clutch from the Optic boys, obviously. But the team nade comes in. They didn't really work together. Maybe a communication problem. I really don't know. And then we get into the 4-2 round. And this right here, I mean, this is just clinical from Lens. I mean, I'm thinking Optic's going to go up 5-2 here, call it game.
Insane shot on Brandon.
And then Lens just somehow clutches the 1v2 here. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this series is insane. Like the amount
That
of
is
clutches.
such a good shot.
Yeah, he finds one onto Big Brucey. I think Bruce tried to put some shots down into him, so shots he can come in for the trade. And Lens, he just doesn't let them have it. I mean, how good has Lens been for Minnesota Rokkr?
Oh, he's rookie of the year.
He is definitely on rookie of the year level right now, for sure.
Yeah, no, he's
the rookie of the year
uncontested. I think he's
front-runner
actually
right now.
uncontested right now, to be honest.
Yeah, front runner for sure.
Yeah. And then this was
AG said this series was a movie, a real life war.
AG probably didn't even know what happened after the series was over.
This
He was probably
round,
shook.
wait, was this the round? Yeah, this is the biggest round of the entire.
And
round.
then,
No, I
and then
can't-
this
dude.
round right here, Ant's trapped in the middle of the map. He smokes his feet out.
This is the unlosable.
Look at Wake, bro. Just
To be
inspirational
fair,
and missing.
I think Ant slid down the hill and he lost the angle. I think he lost the angle here.
He did,
Either
he
he
did, but
lost
even
the
then-
angle or he shot absolute zigzags. It's
Yeah,
one
but
or
it
the
was
other.
still mantling out of P1. Like, you should have enough time to kill him, no?
No,
It's not even that though. As soon as like this is like just like a small talk thing. As soon as Wake is about to pinch this mid alley, number 8 should just get ready to engage with them and like collapse on mid, regardless of like what the scenario is. Because like look at this guy top bridge. This guy bridge has pretty much everything else. 8 is worrying about something that he shouldn't even be worried about. Wake needs to be like, okay, I'm about to pinch, like this, like push with me, and then they just both collapse on mid and they maybe catch a timing. Like they're just doing too many 1v1 scenarios basically.
There's just like a lack of small talk. It's pretty obvious by like how these end round situations are playing out. Like the round prior that Tom brought up, and now this one, like you could just tell there's not a lot of like working to get, like whoever's involved in the play isn't small talking to the point where like the play is going in their favor.
Yeah, I just don't really get this either though. Like Minnesota, they have numbers like even right here, like Reese, right? Why is he like hard shimmying this? Like I feel like he doesn't even need to like make a play on this guy. Like just run away, like just play with your teammate here, and then you have Big Wake coming on a pinch. Like he definitely, if he needs to hit this route, he needs to finish that kill there. But even right here, he kind of gets stuck now, and now it's a 2v2. Like Reese runs while Wake chows is basically where I'm getting to.
Exactly. Yeah. Like,
You know what I'm saying?
if Wake is that guy, he should have been like, okay, engage now. Like, just like chow with me. Like,
Yeah.
make it so that if there is a guy mid, he has to look at 2 directions. I'm either getting the free kill or you're getting the free kill. You play your man advantage. But even then, like Lamar, is that Lamar? Yeah. Lamar has all the bridge. He has this entire right side. Once Reese gets like tucked into this corner, he could have had help from Lamar the whole time. They just didn't. I think they didn't know where the second guy was, and they were probably afraid he was like top 3 or like market. So that's probably why Lamar was playing it so like unconfidently. But I mean, I don't know. It's just bad plays, bad small talk.
Yeah,
Yo,
3-2
why do you guys-
victory for Optic. Pat, go ahead.
I was gonna ask, why do you guys think the clutch this stage is down so much? Like First Blood and Bomb Plant win percentage is down like 20-25% compared to
this
normal.
stage.
I think
Yeah.
it's just like the amount of reps that are going into these situations. Like I think like the cut and dry situations early season are just that. Like they're extremely like you just play the situation and there's not a lot of like parity in how things work. And I think as the season goes on, like we're seeing it with terminal search offense, for example. Like we thought that shit was unwinnable for the first stage, and now there was like 6 wins today. Like you see the map start to evolve. So I think that when you see these cut and dry situations from earlier, teams just have more reps and they understand how to play the situations.
People are just better at finding
way
gaps. Like they're just better at finding the opening and the win condition, even in quote unquote unlosable scenarios. It's just going to naturally be that way as teams get more reps and start playing more.
Plus,
or
I'm
start,
assuming you're
like,
talking
winning
about like
or-
the B bomb on Karachi, or just in general.
It was all S&D maps, but
Yeah, I
that
think
was
it's just,
obviously
like,
a good shout.
You figure out like tendencies too. Like when you get a B bomb down on Karachi, you know where people are going to be at. So
But Chris, the problem to what you said is like last year it was pretty consistent throughout the whole year. It like was 80% almost every stage.
But there's also things that like you can't account for in this game. For example, like in that last game, we didn't have like full-time Deddy. So when people do get these bomb downs and they just position themselves in like good spots, you can take advantage of things like sound, like that are going to guarantee you information. Rather than now, it's like there's more unknown. And then also like Sam is saying, there's just going to be like, for example, on Invasion, like I'll just give you a random example, B bomb. What's the typical 2-man setup on the B bomb? It's a guy tractor and a guy cube. So like, you know, the setup, you're going to get better at working around how to break that setup. And it's going to be just like clockwork. It's going to develop like that in this game. And people are just going to be better at winning scenarios they pretty much have no business winning.
Yeah. Guys, any final thoughts on Optic Texas and Minnesota? Any thoughts on the series? Thought it was probably one of the most entertaining series this year. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. There's just so many clutch moments, so many individual plays. I mean, it was just a great series overall. Any final thoughts, guys?
I think
you go ahead, bud.
Rokkr have in a number of series now lost like their map pick, map 4 hardpoint, which is kind of a bummer because they've had opportunity to close out a couple series and they haven't. So that's something to really work on. They fought in this series, fought in Toronto, but some game 5 stuff they got to clean up if they want to take the step up. Because I think right now Minnesota, to me, feel like they're ahead of the rest of the pack, but they are not going to make it on Sundays if they kind of keep throwing deep series like this against the better teams that they have an opportunity to win. Go ahead. Sam.
2 things, Ben. Can you find Minnesota's game 4 hardpoint record for me? I don't know if you have that available.
I do. I think they are 2-7 last time I checked. Yeah,
That's not fucking great. I wish not necessarily like Optic or Toronto would have lost their series, but like I wish that Minnesota had won them strictly just so like we would have had a little bit more parity at the top. Like I think that they're still up there, but I think if they had won one of these 2 series, I think like we would be talking about them a little bit differently because I think we still have that like in the back of our heads, like they can have a series advantage and like we still think that they're not going to be able to close against the top teams. Whereas if they had won against Toronto or Optic today, I think that again the conversation would change a little bit. But yeah, I just want to give Lamar his flowers, bro. That guy's fucking godlike. And same with Linz. I think like Wake is starting to play up a little bit from like what we've wanted him to do for the last couple of series. But yeah, with Linz and Lamar, godlike. Those two are all of that team right now.
Hey, Pat, anybody you want to gas up, Pat? Anybody you want to gas up? Maybe give some positive words too. Maybe some positivity. I mean, what do you think, Pat? I mean, Shotzi literally made a lot of plays today, the last 3 maps. You maybe impressed by Shotzi. Lamar made some plays today.
I agree with you, Tom. He made plays. And you know who makes plays for you on your team?
Superstars.
And this is all sports. No, your role players. The superstars are the ones who do it all. So I think Shotzi played well today for his role. He did solid. I do want to gas
the one who make the plays, Pat?
No. Superstars are the ones who take over, Tom, where plays don't have to be made because they just take over the map. Role players, make your superstars' job easier. That's how it is on every team.
So what do you say about Simp then, who kind of does both?
He's a superstar. If he does both, he's a superstar. He's a godlike superstar. He's like a superstar V2 2.0.
Superstar plus.
Yeah, but I will give a shout out to Linz, Tom. I mean, look, I advocated for this Linz, Abuza, Gwyn. Tom, I was watching your stream. You actually made my Gwyn guys roster with you had a different AR. You had attached. I had Ghosty in the offseason, but
yeah.
I mean, LAT could have had that.
Pat, that roster is fucking crazy.
It would have been nasty.
Complete hindsight, that roster is unreal in this game.
Some people say hindsight. Some people say hindsight,
like right
Sam.
now. I'm saying
I just say early, like.
No, I was on the wave with you. I was there with you. I was.
I was telling GMs, they just
insane.
You take like 3 of the clear best like challenger players at the time. You put them on a team with somebody that's consistent and can in-game lead and just help out some rookies. And I mean, yeah, they would have been good. They probably would have been good. So
you get a lot more kills than some of the rosters in the league right now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really like this Rokkr team, but what I don't want to see them become is like Boston from the last couple of years, where they're like, there's talent, they've got a good map pool, they're good in most of the modes, but they play a top team and they just find ways to lose situations they should win. So hopefully they keep at it. Don't be too discouraged by the last couple of matches. They took these teams to the end and they just had bad map 5s, and obviously in this one a couple of bad decisions, map 3 and 4. They've got some wins. They're going to make winners bracket in the stage.
I mean, to be honest, like the way they're losing series, it's like you can go back and watch and like you can hindsight like, yeah, we should have done this, we should have done that. But at the end of the day, like the recipe for success, they just got to keep doing what they're doing, and eventually those wins will probably come. And especially versus the lower tier teams, right? They should, in theory, beat those teams. So
their schedule goes down a little bit from here.
Yeah, their main schedule is Boston, which I like them against Boston. FaZe, obviously, we'll see how they battle that. Thieves, who I think they have a huge advantage in Respawn. Seattle, Respawns, and Miami. So I think they should get 3 out of the 4 weak matchups in this and make the winners.
Mm-hmm. All right. Nice. Let's move on to the last and final series of the day. We got the Miami Heretics going up against the Vegas Legion in Vegas with the reverse sweep onto Miami. I'll be honest, the last 3 maps weren't even close either. Vegas made a statement the last 3 maps and just kind of put them down.
That motherfucking Nero poison, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Generational series from Nero.
Yeah, he turned up. He turned up the last
but this is what
few
we
maps
wanted
especially.
to see from Vegas, bro, because they've had a couple of series. The opposite happened to them, where they had a great first 2 maps and the other team kind of kicked it on. Vegas was up against it. In this one, you felt like, it was going to be Vamos all the way, but Nero in that map 3 was everything. And then from there, got great contributions from the rest of his team. I know you see a 0.9 from Persia in the stats, but I felt like, on the sub situations, he definitely looked comfortable and was making plays. I thought from Vegas, this is the ice we've been waiting to see from them.
I'm hyped we got to see a Geo turn up because like he obviously was a little quiet. His first debut, he played all right, but like Attach even said it, and I was even saying it. Geo is like a slayer. That guy he's gonna put down damage. He's gonna get kills, and we got to see it, especially in that map 4 on that Rio. He was cooking exactly. Yeah, he's one of those players that he definitely has that potential in him. He's just gotta kind of channel that and see how it goes. Also. Listen, I roasted Purge on Twitter, but at the end of the day,
your tweet was so your tweet was so fucked.
What did you tweet? What did you tweet?
I tweeted, why did I pick Vegas to win? I forgot Purge was on the roster still. After the first,
it's a good point. It's a good point.
The first map, I mean, he did turn around. He started to play better, but the other day, like it's just I'm gonna keep ragging on Purge until this team shows some consistency. So far, though, I mean, they do look better. Still a little bit worried, right? We got to make sure that he's playing. But apparently, from the interview, he's their in-game leader a lot of the time, which I did not expect.
Purge?
So yeah, that's what Nero said. He says he's directing a lot of the traffic and telling them what to do. So
I mean shit, it makes sense. He's on the desk screen spectating a lot. Like
listen,
he's got the big map up 3/4 of the map.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take Nero's word for it. I don't see why he would make that up. So
fucking crazy.
As much as he might struggle sometimes in some maps, if he's leading these guys to being a little bit decently competitive and improving as a team, then props to him. So yeah, I'll give him some flowers there.
Vegas have they have the easiest split of anybody in the league. The only
I thought Carolina did. Is it not Carolina?
It might be them in Carolina because Carolina plays Optic. And so it might be Carolina because they play Optic as opposed to Vegas who plays Toronto next. They both have they're not really playing other top teams other than that. But they've taken care of business against LAG. And I'm really disappointed in this Miami team right now.
Oh, Bucks are gone. All Bucks are gone.
All Bucks are gone.
First off, you would think with their aggression they would be a great team on Rio, yet they just constantly troll situations where they rotate to push out too far, don't play together, play singles, and they get exposed. They're statistically now the worst team on that map. And just in general, the S&D seems to have fallen off a cliff. I'm very worried where this Miami team's out right now because tactically they seem like they haven't really progressed.
Well,
other teams have kind of gotten ahead of them.
I kind of want to say this, and I don't know if you guys agree with me on this or not, but I think Real is 100% coming into this roster. I think that's why they picked him up. I mean, they picked him up. He's a substitute. I think right now they're waiting for his visa to get approved and all that shit. But
bro, how fucking insane is it, by the way, that Miami got his visa or is getting his visa this quickly? But now Ravens.
Do we know if it's quick?
Okay,
or just assuming?
Well, I mean, like, I don't. Okay, we might just.
It's also not that crazy considering they just had 4 people they had to get visas for.
I mean, either way though, if they're signing him as a sub, like they can't just sign him and not get him a visa. They have to have him readily available to substitute.
But and to go back to your question, Sam, I do think it's probably going to be for Eric Boom just because he's the new guy. He's the guy they just brought in, and I think they like the Vickel, Metals, and Lucky trio. And I could be wrong on that because I have no idea. I really don't. I was surprised when they brought in Eric Boom.
But take the roster change shit out of this, bro. When I watch this Miami team play, yes, they're very aggressive, but they play too aggressive individually and don't make collective team decisions in a sense that they're going to just get fucking punished for their dumbass fucking decisions. And it's hurt them a lot in Rio when they have pushed out too far. They're getting singled out, and then they get collapsed on that map. They spawn out. And I watch them play Rio, and they don't get rotation for 3 hills in a row.
They're 3-15 in their last 18 maps, and 2 were in this series. This team sucks.
It's just tactically they're not there. I don't care about the Eric Boom Real thing. Like, yeah, they're going to rotate this roster of 7 people, whatever that they have to find the best combo. But tactically, right now, when you watch them play, I feel like they make too many in-card decisions individually.
The people on the layers are just trolling, bro. Like if you want to look at it from a game's perspective, the people that whenever they do have a situation where they can take advantage, put people in a blender, the people that are on those layers that are on the cuts, they're gonna be the ones to be the first engaged. They are just not picking up kills. They're not positioning themselves well. So
yeah, because we've seen, like, to the Rio example, right? I love the way that Lens played that map against Optic. I love the way that Abizi and Sim played the map when FaZe played it earlier in the split. I love the way the Optic sometimes plays the map other than what happened against Minnesota. I just watch Miami throw away their advantages on P1s, on P3s. They're terrible on P4. They rotate and get broken like twice now. We've seen that happen. They cannot find bread and butter maps. Invasion Search in this series. I'm just very worried about where they're at as a team, chemistry wise and tactically, and I think it's going to be a long split.
And I
mean,
think
they
it's
had-
like,
they
where do
lost
they
the
go
defense.
next too? Go ahead, Sam.
Go ahead, Sam.
I would say they lost the defense on against lost the defense against Legion, which they're 4-20 going into the series, and they lost the defense in about 14 seconds on Invasion of all maps. So this team is like just completely regressed. And to Tom's point, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Real. Obviously, don't know the time frame on his whole visa situation. I'm not involved in that at all. But this, like, I think Chris kind of touched on it a little bit. They just haven't progressed. Like, you see a lot of teams like will harp on some issues, and like whether it be map pool, whether it be game mode related, like we'll see either like some sort of adaptation throughout a team's life cycle.
Yeah.
These guys, I feel like I'm watching the same team from the moment that this game started to right now. Even if they changed a player, the philosophy of which they approach every map and mode is the exact same.
Which you would think like they practice every day, and it's like I'm sure they're trying to get better every single day. But it's just,
they're not showing up to scrims like not to get better.
Yeah,
obviously.
right. I think the game is just changing, and it's just they're not adapting fast enough where other teams are. And I completely agree with you on that, Sam. They do seem like the same team, and sometimes I feel like they rely on certain people. Like you rely on like Metals, like go fucking crazy one series.
Yeah, you need just an absolute masterclass for Metals to win you a series.
Which I will say, I actually do really like Real. I think Real hasn't gotten a shot yet, but I think Real's a player that's going to come in and be like a difference maker, like how Linz is for Minnesota, and like how some of these players are for some of these other teams. Like I actually think Real's a really good player. Do you guys like Real and like his game or no?
He's really good individually. System wise, I'm not sure how he's gonna like slot in, but like in terms of the moments that I've played against him, he shoots really straight and his situational awareness is pretty good. But
yeah, he just has like that same swag to his game, like Linz and Paco and Abuza and like all those guys. He kind of just reminds me of like those group of guys. I don't know why. So I'm excited to see Real probably get back in there. I mean, I know it hasn't happened yet, but I just feel like it's happening. But
the signing kind of like alludes to it enough, you know what I mean?
And then I guess on the other side, I guess the question to ask is what's going on with Purge? Like, do you guys think that enough is enough? Do you think Purge is a good teammate for them? Maybe does bring leadership qualities to them? I definitely think it was clear today that Purge was struggling early on again. And of course, bro, he has his moments. He has his moments where he's good. It's just, Sam, I know you mentioned during the game, you were like, man, they could have had Standy when they were down 0-2 and Purge was struggling. And it's like, would this team look better with Standy on it? And look, Purge seems like a great dude, and he shows different. Sometimes I know he's getting pooped on, but he also shown signs of life too, where he'll get a lot of kills and pop off and have his moments. I mean, what do you guys think it is? What do you think Vegas sees in him, and do you think you see them sticking with him?
I think if they have another disappointing stage where three of them are playing fairly well, they might make a change there. I think they're pretty much all in at this point with Purge, at least for this stage. And granted, their team has looked better, and he's even improved a little bit. I just don't know if the path forward for this Legion team is going to be keeping him on the roster, especially if they want to like break into the higher echelons of competition. Because at the end of the day, when you're playing these top four teams and these better teams, like the people that in-game lead, the people that do the dirty work, those guys are also shooting, and the Purge just sometimes is not. So maybe moving forward, next stage, if they might make a change. But for now, I mean, I think they're just going to keep them on and see how they do, because they've continued to improve. I mean, they're 2-0 right now, so not much bad to say there.
Yeah. I would say for Vegas right now, actually, outside of that first map in the series, the respawn's been pretty good from the stage. But the only thing is they played LAG, who we think are kind of starting to come back to the bottom, and Miami, who might be also near the bottom. So I want to see how they square up against Toronto up next.
The one thing I'm worried about with Vegas is that the level of consistency in which Nero and Attach have been playing with is like otherworldly. Like they have, like every time these guys play a series, it seems like Attach and Nero are playing well. What does this team, what does this team look like when they are not playing at this level? Because we know, I mean, no offense to Purge, I'm strictly critiquing COD. We know what we're getting out of the kid. Like I just don't know what we're gonna get. Like, granted, they've played Miami and LAG. Like, if Dylan and Dylan are not playing at the level of which they are, this team has no fucking chance.
Yeah. They
So
need players
that's
to
my
step
only
up.
like reservation with keeping his roster right now.
Yeah.
My point of view is pretty simple. Like, this team could keep him, but I feel like they've already hit their ceiling. Like, this team would be so much better if they just get an upgrade. I don't care if it's Standy. I don't care who it is. But there are players in challengers that are better than Purge, period. And I think if this team, which we agree has a pretty solid core, Nero, Attach,
Attach and Nero are like very fucking good.
And
at this game.
Geo has been solid. He hasn't been bad.
Eddie's
Just
a new player.
upgrade.
He'll get better as the year goes.
Just upgrade. Why are we staying complacent?
I just don't see them making a change until after this major because I think they have a very favorable schedule in which they get a lot of online points. Go in winners and then maybe try and get a top 6 or whatever and then evaluate after. You're going to see a lot of players. We have an elite stage going on right now. So you're going to get a lot of data, a lot of competitive matches where you're going to be able to scout a lot of these challengers players and you can make the right decision going into stage 3.
Exactly. They would essentially reset their progress if they made a change like now that they've made with their current team. So yeah,
but their progress has nothing to do with Purge.
I mean, but like they're clicking right now. Obviously, I think they're gonna lose to Toronto, but like I feel like they're gonna get 4 or 5 wins from the stage online, and that's huge points for them to try and get in the champs race. And then after major, after
upgrade, you don't have infinite time. Other people are gonna make roster change. They're gonna steal players that you would have wished you could have got. Just upgrade. It's that simple.
I just don't. I don't see them. Let's be realistic, Pat. They're not gonna make a change until after major.
I mean, I agree. People don't think how they should think. I agree. Upgrade.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna pull up the standings here just to take a look and just see where we're at.
I haven't looked at the standings in a while.
Yeah, we haven't looked at it in a minute, so I was like, let's pull them up, just take a look at them. Jesus Christ, LA Thieves, God,
dude, come on, man.
Sam, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but Jesus, man, this is not what you want to see as an LA Thieves fan.
To be fair, we have teams like New York that have played 3 series this stage, and Thieves have played 1. So, like series number wise, this is like a little bit out of whack with how the stage is going because of the fucking schedule we have right now. Yeah, Thieves got to get it going because right now they are 30 points away from.
That mid pack is crazy.
92% win or map win percentage is just fucking insane.
Yeah, 92% is actually crazy.
What the fuck?
I wonder if that's one of the highest percentages at this point in the year from past seasons because I feel like it's got to be up there.
On par for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's impressive considering we've gone from 5 matches in a round robin to 7. So only losing 1 match is kind of wild if you think about it.
That's crazy.
And then 1 match is just some random loss to fucking Boston.
Where fucking Dylan Envoy had literally his worst series of professional.
Prince of the North selling his old list.
Yeah, I mean, even Vegas, that was a big, the mid. That's where I'm looking. Like right now, the mid pack, I see Vegas is chasing LAG. I thought today's win was big for them, like getting those points on the board. And who do they play moving forward, Ben? Who's Vegas playing?
Vegas has Toronto up next, so I think it's a bonus match, and they have Boston, LA Thieves, Seattle, and Carolina. So
those are 4 winnable series.
It's very probable they have 4 or 5, maybe more wins during the stage. Like this is a huge opportunity for Vegas to stack on the points because, for example, next split, Optic, FaZe, and New York are the teams they play, and then the split after that, Toronto, Optic, and New York. So they're not going to dodge those top teams for much longer online.
Be a good chance to see how Vegas matches up against Toronto. Hopefully they could take some maps. Go ahead, Pat.
If you got, let's say, like an iPhone 6S.
Now we're talking about upgrades again.
And it works, right? It works. The battery sucks.
Right. Pat cooked up a whole iPhone analogy for upgrades.
It sends text. But you got the money.
Right.
Why would you not upgrade?
Bro, I see what you're saying.
No one, I don't
feel like a lot of these teams don't got the money.
I don't think anyone's disagreeing with you. The problem is the teams is, I mean, straight up.
They're winning right now. They're not worried
going
about
to
it.
make a change. Like, I don't know what else you want to say here.
Pack a punch. That's what we say.
But they're going to see if this team can make a deep run in this major and then decide afterwards that they're going to make a change because their schedules online at this stage, if you all take a look, are very difficult. This is the take advantage of while you have it type stage online to try and get 60, 50 points, 70 points maybe. Somehow they inexplicably beat Toronto.
We got a big day tomorrow as well. Some of these matches look really good. Let's do predictions for tomorrow. We got the Las Vegas Legion going up against Toronto Ultra. Now, I'm going to go with Toronto on this one. Obviously, I'm going to go 3-1. I can see Vegas taking a map. Ben, what do you think?
See Vegas taking no maps, DoorDash, Toronto.
Okay. Sam? Do you
I got
think
two
the
DoorDashes
do you
back
think
to
the
back, actually.
Vegas honeymoon stage right now? I don't know. I feel like they're 2-0. They might go into that series tomorrow confident. I can see them taking a map. Sam, you got.
I mean, they could take a map. That's fine.
Yeah,
But
that's what I had.
I got Toronto. I got Optic. I think probably in a very quick series.
You think the Optic LG's gonna be quick as well? LAG's
Agreed, yeah.
weird. LAG's such a weird team. I don't know. Sometimes they come out and you're like, okay, all right, maybe these guys can play. And then sometimes you come out and you're like, yeah, nah, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Chris, what are you doing here? First series, Vegas versus Toronto.
3-0.
3-0, Pat.
Rio.
All right, and the LAG Optic. I have Optic in this one as well. I'll say 3-0 for this one. Ben, what do you got for this?
I really think if you're Optic, if there's any series to pick Team E, it's this one because I don't think LG is a big search team, and I think Optic can really challenge LG on like any hard point, but should really guarantee yes, indeed they want. I got Optic taking this 3-0.
All right, Sam, you got Optic, right?
Yeah.
Chris,
I got Optic. If LAG want to make this competitive, my boy Adam's got to shoot back. God damn.
You're picking against the bros?
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, bro. You have to hear. This is everything against them, bro. It's John.
Oh, no.
Damn, bro. I didn't think I'd ever see the day.
You guys are trolling.
Pat, what are you doing here? Pat, Optic, LAG, who you got?
Come on, Pat.
Man, it's
No,
tough.
dude.
Come on,
no,
Pat.
it's
Yeah.
tough.
Come on, Pat.
Come on,
It's tough.
Pat. Come on, man.
Stay with me.
Hear Pat.
Ooh.
Optic 3-0.
Wall. Green.
I'm gonna go Game 5 Grueler here.
Oh, here we go.
You're going to
Okay.
Game 5 Grueler? Okay.
Game 5 Grueler.
All right.
Who wins it?
LAG with. I think they're gonna push it Game 5 via Neslo, so they're gonna go 2-3.
Okay.
And I got a Pred takeover last map.
We got an AG
Okay.
takeover last
We
match.
get bonus
Right.
points for what the last map is.
I have no idea what I hope it's
Sure.
a terminal.
So assume Optic takes Team A, they get to pick
I
last
hope
map.
it's a terminal.
Yes, it is.
Hey, and then we got Miami going up against LA Thieves. Who do you guys got for that one?
Fuck me, bro.
Bro, I got LA Thieves in this one.
I got
Thieves.
LAT, baby.
Yeah, I
But
got
if they have
LAT.
LAT
Any
bucks.
fucking series. Miami's on the fucking ropes of your
Yeah,
teams,
and
bro.
I feel like LA
they're on the
Thieves
ropes of
is-
the taking, man.
Listen
Bro,
to me
if
right
Thieves,
now.
if Thieves does not
Thieves-
win this series,
They
Thank
need to
you,
win the
Chris.
series tomorrow.
If LAT loses this series, I'm coming back.
No way. For real?
No,
Like,
not
actually?
for real. Bro, if they lose this series,
Uh.
Lord Almighty above, bro.
I already
Please.
said
Yo, clip
blow-
that,
I already
clip
said
that,
blow
clip
it up.
that, Jack.
I already
Like
said
that,
blow it up,
dude.
dude. But if they lose this one,
I might have to get in that coaching sesh.
my
Like, I might
brother
have to get in
Christ,
there, bro.
Sam, you got to step.
I
in
might
that.
have to get the fuck.
You got to step in there, bro. You got to intervene, bro, because what is happening?
I might take $3 million over 3 years and get the fuck in there, dude.
Nah, that's
Like that.
crazy, bro. That's crazy.
But I mean, this is you're not going to get a more winnable opportunity if you're Thieves against a team that has been in really poor form.
But does
that
anybody
go
here
on the
have
board.
Miami? Does anybody here on the panel have Miami winning the series? I have Thieves.
I have Thieves. It's going to be 3-1. It's going to be sketchy, but they get it done.
No, I think I have Miami.
Really?
I think I have. Listen, Miami is ass, but like at least today they shot the gun. They won some maps. Like
Okay.
LAT, I don't even know what they be doing over
It
there.
starts now. Let me tell
I
you
don't know,
something.
Chris,
It starts now.
I feel like
Bro, I'm looking at my screen and I'm just-
there's got to be an upset somewhere where LA Thieves comes out and just wins a series, bro.
Bro, I'm looking at my
This is the
screen with
series
the
to do it,
goosebumps
bro.
right now, bro.
It starts
gotta give us one.
now.
Listen, bro, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Obviously, we'll be watch partying on YouTube. But Ben, why don't you sync us out for a clip, man? It's been a long day, a lot of matches, great show, and I think it's time that you sync us out.
Some
And
good
let it
fucking
sing.
games today.
Yep, great game.
Yo,
today.
Sunday's godlike too. Tomorrow's kind of a snoozer, but Sunday's godlike.
Yeah, hopefully the games
There's some
tomorrow.
good
are-
games this
hopefully we get
weekend.
some upsets or something tomorrow. I don't know, some close matches.
That's crazy. LAT beating Miami is an upset. That's fucking wicked.
That is crazy. I don't think anybody expected that going into
We're
the
in
year.
the depths.
Benji Nassim, he's got his slippies on today. No dogs out. He's gonna put the
I like
ball.
this. I like this. Ben's new gimmick is in the back of the ball.
Yeah, all the way in the back.
mat.
He's gonna
I like
line
that.
it up. He's gonna center it up. Listen,
Oh,
I'm
Jesus.
going
getting
wide.
his
I'm going
protractor
wide right here. I'm going wide right. This is over with. He's gonna go wide right. He's gonna miss this one. The poll's coming in. The votes are coming in. He steps up to the plate and he sinks the ball.
Wide right.
Oh man.
Right.
Hey Pat,
Talk
I'm
that
out here
shit, Ben.
motivating. I'm out here
Unbelievable,
motivating
bro.
Talk
people,
that
Pat.
shit,
Fucking
Ben.
Unbelievable.
I'm just motivating you, Ben.
Yeah.
I'm just motivating you. That's all
Fuck
I'm
that
doing.
shit.
It don't matter
Hey.
where I put on the fucking mat. I'm making that shit.
And
Get
the
the fuck
chat
outta
goes
here.
crazy, and the crowd goes fucking nuts. Look at him go, Ben. Look at him go. Man, a lot of people made a lot of Jana points right there. They made a lot of Jana points.
Yo, Ben, I want to say
hello.
something. We played. I was playing ranked like yesterday. I think it was like a day or two ago.
What happened with
here we
ranked?
go.
Where is
and
that
and we
shit?
did. It's back. But we did the Ben
it
J
is.
Masim
Yeah,
strat
here we
on
go.
Karachi.
Yeah.
And then we
How'd it
took
work out for you?
all four of us took your exact route and we won
Yeah.
the round and it was a
All right,
blowout
bet.
round.
W.
W timings, Ben. W
timings.
fucking
Good
timings.
timings.
W
Good fucking
times.
timings.
Well, listen, guys, that's going to do it for us today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of The Flank.
That's
Make sure to
up.
like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Go to anchor.fm/The Flank to check out audio sites that we're on and go follow at The Flank. Gersh doing a phenomenal job running socials, so make sure to go follow The Flank. And then go to ZOOMAFIA.gg. That's where all the merch is going to be moving forward. If you were in the watch party today, you got a little sneak peek, so stay tuned for that. Merch coming soon. Take care. Brush your hair. We'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode of The Flank, man. Take it easy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.